So 2025 was a bit of a mixed bag for LEGO Star Wars, but in that, there were definitely some gems. So this is every LEGO Star Wars set released in 2025 ranked. This list, of course, is my opinion, so if you have your own personal list, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below. And affiliate links for all these sets will be in the description. Starting off in 33rd place, we have a set that I truly don't know who bought, and that is 3708 Millennium Falcon. It's a cute little set that I honestly might be ranking a bit too low, but unless you're putting it on a small desk you own, I just personally don't find the appeal. It's a polybag, and there's not much playability in it for me, though I will say that the challenge of building a LEGO set in its polybag is the only saving grace for the set. A super funny meme. Next up in 32nd place, we have 40771 TIE Fighter with Imperial Hanger Rack. This is actually a gift with purchase that came with the UCS Death Star, which honestly should have just come with that massive space station. But instead, it was available as a GWP if you bought the Death Star at a certain period of time when it released, and it's just not that good. The build doesn't look that appealing to me, and the figures, while good, really are just reused figs of the past, so nothing new or special. It honestly looks like a 4+ set, and that's just how I see this. It's not terrible, but for a gift with purchase, I find it a bit too little. The Death Star should have had something absolutely awesome for the GWP instead of this, which feels like it was just gutted from the set entirely. Now, next up in 31st place, we have 75410 Mando and Grogu's N1 Starfighter, which for this set, the price is terrible, but I actually like some parts to it. The Mandalorian figure is great, the astromech is awesome, and the build seems kind of fun for kids. But the price, again, that is really tough to justify, probably for some parents. But for a Christmas gift, when it's on sale, sure. For full price though, I think there are some stronger contenders out there. Though again, the figures are good. In 30th place, we have 75413 Republic Juggernaut. And this is partly me standing on principle, and also me actually not finding this set too appealing too. And that's why it's so low in the rank. By far the best part of this set is the figures. The problem is that they're actually not that great. The printing is off on the Galactic Marines, and there are still quite a few inaccuracies. Moreover, the chipmunk face on Bakara is not that great. The tank itself is also not great compared to its predecessors. It's small, not very durable, and honestly, not a solid troop transport. For the troops to fit in, they need to be sat down, and that's just no fun. There needs to be more space. The fun of these large tanks is that they are large, and especially for the kiddos, it's easier to customize these larger builds than smaller ones because there's just more room to add things. But I digress. There are still some redeeming qualities to the build, such as the turret, but overall, it's not my cup of tea. In 29th place, we have 75406 Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle, which honestly is not a bad set at all. I love the all-black, mysterious colorway of the First Order ships, and LEGO does the shuttle really well in that color. The problem is that this set, for the price, is way too small. And the design, which I don't know if this is really LEGO's fault, or if it's just the nature of the ship, doesn't look all that much like the shuttle. It looks more like a bat. And I don't know, this just doesn't scream Star Wars to me much, so it's just not a set I find that appealing. After that, I put the Darth Maul mech, which honestly is not a bad set at all. It's a cheap way to get a cool Sith Lord with a funny little build. But Darth Maul really doesn't have that great of a current minifigure with his no pupil look, and the mech itself, while nice, is just so odd for Darth Maul. But again, we're entering the territory of not bad sets, but there are some things that don't help them in the matter, such as the next set, 75428 Battle Droid with Stap, which actually, I think some folks really do like this set, for good reason actually. The Stap looks like quite a nice build that is just super rad with the droid. And the droid minifigure itself, the small minifigure, is just great. But every single time I look at the Battle Droid head, I feel like he looks depressed. There's something about his face that shows so little confidence in what he's about to do, and while funny, does not help me justify that $140 price tag. Moreover, he just looks too blocky for a droid, and the chin in particular, way too squared off. That just doesn't look right. So for me, a funny set, but not worth $140. Following that price tag situation, we have the famous 75431 327 Star Corps Clone Troopers Battle Pack. This was a set that so many of us were excited about, up until we heard about the price. I don't know what LEGO was thinking, but the price is not it. Even $30 for this set is too much. It just doesn't have the stage presence that the 501st Battle Pack had back in 2020 to justify such a price hike. On top of that, the figures, while nice, are nothing to write home about. They have their issues, and because of that, it just feels like you're getting something that's okay for a price that should be for something great. And that's exactly how I would describe the next set, 75419, the Death Star. This should have been the biggest news of the year for LEGO, the new $1,000 Death Star. I mean, come on. That is some serious dough for some people who are buying this set, and it's only okay. The figures were a real disappointment. No top tier figs at all. The build itself, yeah, it was bound to have some compromises. Thinking back to the two old Death Stars, those also did not look that great without some sort of panels. And I know because I have part of one. It's cool as a kid, but not as cool as an adult. But I think this would have been one of the best sets ever if it was just like the old ones with panels. That way, we all get what we expected with ideally amazing figs. But no, the set was not that, and that price is just too much. $1,000? Whew. After that, 75415 Kylo Ren helmet, which is alright, but the helmet just kind of looks like he's wearing chainmail, and that doesn't look too appealing. Too many studs, which I know it's LEGO, but some pictures of the set really make it look not that great. Following the Kylo Ren helmet is 75430 Wicket the Ewok, which, man, this is probably someone's favorite because it's slightly reasonably priced, but it's a cute Ewok. Wicket. Interesting, but for most folks, I think this isn't the most appealing set, especially for it being $130. Though it's not bad at all, and a great set for a couple who likes Ewoks. Better than that set is 75403 Grogu with Hover Pram, which I think is actually great for both kids and future parents. It has some play features with Baby Yoda, so that's good for the kiddos, but for future parents, I also think it's kind of cute as something for them to look at as their future. I don't know. Currently, I wouldn't personally find this set all that appealing for me, but I think it'd be something most folks would find appealing if they're ready to start a family. After that, we have a set that I actually do not really like, but I understand the value of. 75407 brick-built Star Wars logo. It's cool and a great centerpiece for your collection, but it having literally just one Easter egg and no minifigure makes it a no-no for me. Next up, 75414, the Force Burner Snowspeeder. This is an absolutely super expensive set for what it is, but my gosh, this set is awesome because of just a few things. The figures are great. Some imperfections here and there, but overall, they're super cool and creative. And that Snowspeeder actually looks really rad. It's creative and has the new windshield piece that's far more in line with Snowspeeders. Big fan. Up in 19th place, I have 75401 Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor. This set was such an exciting set to hear about, and it lived up to some parts of the expectation, but the new cockpit design, and especially the price, nah. It was great seeing some new figures. The new Anakin looks a bit blank with one facial expression, but the other seems more reflective of his personality. But again, the price just wasn't it. But the next one is not about the price. Set 75418 LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar 2025. This Advent Calendar is pretty interesting. All droid builds, which some people will like, and some definitely won't. There just aren't a ton of minifigures in the set, but there are some figures that are very desirable, such as the BD-1 droid. 17 is 75412 Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. And this set, I have mixed feelings on. On one hand, it's great we're getting Death Troopers, they're awesome. The problem is that they're the zombie versions. These are just such specific troopers that they won't be able to fit every collection. Moreover, the build isn't really much. It's so tiny, you're really just paying for the figures for this one. Following that, we have 75404 Acclimator Assault Ship. This actually is a pretty rad build, in my opinion. It's a great display piece for the troop transport we saw first bringing in the clones in episode 2, and it even has an homage to that, but its underbelly is just way too big in my opinion. And of course, it's a pricey set. In 15th place, we have 75405 Home One Star Cruiser. This is a ship in Star Wars I genuinely love, even if it does look like a giant turd. It's rad, it's the hero ship, and it's super unique. I think LEGO does this really well. The in-scale Nebula B on the side also adds to the ship, and that's awesome. If it was paired with Admiral Akbar, the minifigure, and was a bit cheaper, it honestly would be one of the best sets this year, for sure. 14, we have 75399 Rebel U-Wing Starfighter, and I think the set does have a really nice, sleek design that adds to its look. The only issue, just like with all current LEGO playsets is that it was downscaled relative to the older one, and the figures are only alright. 13, we have 75402 Arc 170 Starfighter, which again, a downscaled playset, but those figures are great. If only they had dual molding, they'd be a 10 out of 10. Either way, in their current state, they still are super awesome figures, and the build is pretty cool. 12, we have 75416, the buildable Chopper C110P, which I know I'm not a huge fan of buildable figures, but this one is actually pretty cool in my eyes. Chopper has some playability features with his arms, and I think the value is there with this set in comparison to some of the others. Overall, I think it's super cool. 11, we have 75400 Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter Microfighter, which this is a good set honestly for its price, especially since it comes with the unique Plo Koon, surprisingly, in a Microfighter. The build is okay, but the value in this set is just where it matters. In the minifigure. It's really cheap for what you get, especially given LEGO's current prices. Plo just needs his dual molding. Finally, we've entered the top 10, and for number 10, I put 75435 Battle of Felucia Separatist MTT. I think this set was a bit of a disappointment originally, especially with the downsizing of the MTT from all of the other ones, and also the blind minifigure quality. But the upgradability of this set, its colorway, and the fact that it actually does have some great features overall, make it worth it putting it in the top 10. I'd still only get this set on sale though. 9 is 75433 Jango Fett's Starship, the Playscale version, which I think this one actually has a lot going for it, especially with that combined stand for the ship plus a little cargo vehicle. And the figures are good. The llama suit is great, and overall it's good for those who want the Playscale version of the ship. 8, I have UCS 75417 ATST, which I'm actually not a super big fan of this vehicle as a UCS set because it's super oversized, but LEGO really knocked this one out of the park. It just seems more interesting than a lot of other sets in 2025, and the build is really solid all around. 7, I have the buildable 75434 K2SO. Again, I'm not a huge fan of buildable creatures, characters, and droids, but this set really does K2SO well. After that Andor scene, a lot of folks love K2SO even more, and this set does the droid frame so well, especially the shoulders. Really good stuff, LEGO. 6 is 40765 Camino Training Facility, which this was a gift with purchase back in May with the UCS set release then, and this has to be one of the best GWPs thus far. You get 3 clone cadets with some slight arm printing, dual molding, and even some droid foes. It's such a good set, and honestly should have been sold for $15. Absolutely awesome for the Camino fans. For 5, I have 75432 V19 Torrent Starfighter. I think the set is really solid. Good figures, though the clone pilot could have had a better visor print. But that Obi-Wan is just amazing, Ventress is great, and it's good to see a classic Clone Wars fighter given another awesome LEGO rendition in 2025. 4 is 75408 Jango Fett Helmet. I think this is one of, if not the best, LEGO helmets released. It's just so clean and so sleek. Absolutely incredible helmet set, if not for the next one. Number 3, 75429 AT-AT Driver Helmet. If you have the UCS AT-AT, you might need this one to pair next to it. Again, such a clean and unique design. It's so cool for a helmet set. Really, all you need is a figure to put on its stand. It's just so awesome. And for the last 2, I think these can go either way. Both are great sets from what I've seen, but for me, number 2 goes to 40806 Gingerbread AT-AT Walker. For the price, it's relatively reasonable, and it's just great fun for the family. There's a reason why this set has had its shelf life extended, and it's constantly on back order. A great set for everyone for the holidays. And finally, number 1 goes to 75409, the UCS Jango Fett Starship. The Fire Spray class ship is just incredible. The peak of all Slave Ones. It's such a good design in every way. Beautiful, elegant, and absolutely awesome. It comes with an incredible Jango Fett who absolutely outshines Boba's minifigure in every way. The set is just awesome, and if you ever get the chance to see it in person, be sure to do so. And that was my ranked list of every LEGO Star Wars set released in 2025. What do you think? Would you rank these differently? Let me know in the comment section down below. Affiliate links for all these sets are in the description, so be sure to check them out. Peace.